Usually I don't care so much about certain comments that I get, but the other
Yeah.
day I sent you guys this comment that was supposedly from someone from high school. I don't know if did you recognize the name or
No.
okay. And he was like, "Yeah, you guys. I think I went to high school with you guys. I think you guys could have really made it or done something if you would have just cleaned up your sound." And I have it right here. Check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can you read it?
Yep.
Okay, so I was just like, "Oh yeah, whatever," and I just, I replied. I kind of laughed a little bit, but I'm like done something because we know what we did, being in the band,
Yeah.
of course. But I wonder, when people, because I've gotten a lot of comments like this from people. That's why I wanted to ask all three of you today what you think making it is, and if you think in any way you think we made it, quote unquote, and or what that would have entailed to say that you actually made it.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
Well, I would say if somebody said, "Oh, did you make it?" I would say absolutely not. Not even close, in my opinion. Now, that's not to take away from any of our achievements and like things we did, because I think we did a lot. And actually, I mean, we set goals, and there was some amazing shows, and just like it seemed like every week there was like something, a new opportunity. But if you look at the big picture of, in my opinion, what it is to make it as an artist, is really to be able to financially support yourself, to have it be your job, and have an income by that. And we hardly ever got paid, so I think that's one big thing. I think to be able to be, um, critically acclaimed, getting awards, or people being able to know that, um, just out of your little area, know you bigger than just Minnesota, or one town, or a state even, is such a small thing. It's nothing close to making it, in my opinion.
Hey, we
Uh,
got an award.
yeah, from a local place.
Remember how much we
Um,
stretched that? We're like
yeah,
award-winning metal band or whatever for
yeah.
what was it for? City
Well,
Pages.
yeah, I
Okay,
think it was like best new. Was it best metal recording
I
or
think it
best
was. Yeah.
something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, but and again, I don't say this to take away from anything that we've done. Like I'm super proud of everything we've done, but I just think that you also need to be like fair and honest to yourself and go, well, when you say make it, well, I mean, guess everybody does have their opinion. Like just getting on a stage could make somebody feel like they've made it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my definition. I mean, I think it's definitely checked off. We checked off a lot of things in my life that I wanted to do, but in my mind, when we started the band or started drumming, my goal was wanted to play stadiums. I wanted to be a touring band, and be up on that stage and have the crowd just cheering our songs, and actually be there for us. Um, and then that, of course, would have gone along with, if you're doing that, you're making money and you're paying your bills that way, and you're not doing any other job. So, I guess that's what I consider, being making it, so to speak.
What is your definition of making it as a band? And with that criteria, would you say Sanctus made it? And then I'll tell you the reasons why I think we did or if we didn't.
Sure.
Are you driving?
No, I'm parked.
Oh, good. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah, I think any band that makes it to a stage has made it.
That's what Chris actually said somebody might say. That's interesting.
I mean, did you gig? I mean, did you get out of the garage or the basement? Then I think you made it. Did you write a song, an original tune, if that was your goal? Like, did you set goals? And if you made those goals, yeah, you made it. I mean, you don't have to be Metallica or whatever and play stadiums. We were 16 or 17 and we played regionally. We
Yep.
made it to Duluth, Superior,
Chicago.
Chicago, Des Moines,
Mm.
Harry Mary's. I mean, that's an experience, right? Who can
Oh,
say
yeah.
that?
That's right.
Did that guy that leave that comment, did he ever play at the bar where Slipknot started? I don't know. We did.
I've got his comment right here. This is how prepared I am. I just thought it was. I don't want to rip on this guy because he didn't really mean anything maliciously. It really made me think. Like, I get a lot of comments like, you guys could have been something, you could have made it. And I tell Chris the same thing. I'm like, they don't know what we did, really. Like, if you go down my list, I don't want to repeat it because maybe I should, but all the accomplishments, if I read them off for any band, I bet you would agree that they made it. Like, all right, I'll go through it real quick. If I told you a bunch of 13-year-olds got together, 14-year-olds, whatever, played their first gig around that time, ended up playing First Avenue, then they did some, like you said, playing regionally all the way to Chicago, jumped in an RV, I call that touring, recorded multiple recordings, got signed. All this while they're teenagers, by the way. Released a full-length album, which is kind of the taboo album, in my opinion, but we still released it. Opened for national acts, Nuclear Assault, Propane, Metal Church. Still going today through my channel. We've had 250,000 views on Sanctus-related videos. And we even have young fans like learning covers of our tunes. I would say we made it.
The cult following thing is weird. To me, that's the weirdest part of. I mean, if it wasn't for modern technology and YouTube and your channel, obviously these songs die on a cassette somewhere,
right? Never
to be heard again.
That's what Chris and I were discussing because we realized that everybody's definition of making it is different. Chris is more based around like, can you make a living doing it? And, are people coming out and all that stuff? So everybody has their own metric, but we agreed we never had dollar signs in our eyes as a band. We would have been foolish to playing Ryan's on a Tuesday, like I told him, making nothing, putting all the money back into the band. It's like we never looked forward to being rich so we could have new awesome gear or cars or anything like that. So I'm kind of proud of that, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Like they always say, you have to love it. I mean, all the people that excel at this stuff would do it for free. We did do something. Yeah. We did a lot more than a lot of bands or people did. I mean, just the fact that there's still people and kids on the other side of the f***ing world that's still listening to that stuff and like playing their own cover versions of it on YouTube. To me, it blows my mind. Like this stuff that you're doing now, it eclipses what we even achieved 30 years ago. I mean, just it's keeping it alive and the longevity of it.
It's crazy.
Thanks
man.
to you, thanks to the channel. Like I said, I tear up every time I see a 14-year-old kid.
Dude, I know. Especially when you imagine us being that age and who we looked up to and then reversing that role. It's crazy.
My hat is off to those guys because goddamn, those songs are hard to play.
I know. Trust me, relearning the average solo the other day, I'm like, now I'm average, playing this solo.
Yeah, you're like, what was I thinking when I was 15 with this stuff?
That's the beauty of it. I wasn't thinking, and it actually made me do cooler things, I think, sometimes, but other times it's just like, I don't know what I was on. But all right, Corey, thanks for doing it,
good, buddy.
And I'll upload whatever parts of this you want or whatever, and we'll see you later. I basically already spoke to Christopher and Corey, and I just asked them straight out, that thing I sent you guys in the message the other day where the guy was like, you guys could have done something if this or whatever he said,
Yeah.
And I was like, thinking about it, and I already went through this twice with the other guys, but I made a list of all the things we accomplished as a band, everything from starting at such a young age to spending almost all of our teenage, most of our teenage lives in a band and playing First Avenue, getting signed, all that kind of stuff. And even today, getting viewed by 250,000 people now on the Sanctus stuff on my channel. I would say by that definition, we made it, but everybody has their different ideas of what making it means. So I was going to ask you.
Right. Well, that's the same thing, I mean, I agree. I mean, what's his definition of making it? That would be selling out stadiums and living that kind of life. We didn't want that,
Chris did. Well, like I said, we all have different levels of what we consider making it, but I think we had a different idea of what actually making it would mean. We had a different criteria, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. It was like, playing in front of a lot of people. You know,
Yeah.
we did that. We're still reaching more fans than we did when we were packing a club. So it's a lot easier. You know, I think we have a lot more freedom and we can kind of do what we want more artistically and musically and in life. And I think that's my definition of making it, you know.
I like that.
So
Sort of the freedom to do what you want now, but also being able to look back and see everything you've done in the past as well.
right. Well, yeah, look at that movie Rockstar with Jennifer Aniston
Oh
and
yeah, yep.
Mark Wahlberg
That's right.
and what a great story because you know look at what he had to do like he enjoyed being in a cover band and you know and writing his own stuff and then he got the opportunity to be in this big Kiss type kind of band or Judas Priest and
Mhm.
he hated it you know and everything that came along with it and
Oh
it's like
yeah.
he went back to Seattle and played a club with his acoustic guitar and that's what made him happy and his life was where he wanted it to be so
The old days where we were scraping by, this is why I was kind of proud because Chris brought up a good point. He said we never had dollar signs in our eyes growing up. Like we never thought we're going to make this much if we get signed, we're going to tour and make all this money. We were more focused on who we were going to play with. We wanted to open for Overkill, which stages we could finally get to. We had, I think, more pure thoughts about that kind of stuff. What do you think?
yeah, I agree. And I think like the idea of living in a U-Haul trailer and touring the United States wasn't quite as appealing as what maybe we wanted it to be, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
If that's what it took to get to the next level, was that something we would really want to do, you know? I mean, that's how a lot of people get burned out. So it's
Oh, it's
like,
so true. I think it's really interesting. Chris had big dreams from the beginning, so he doesn't feel as satisfied. Maybe Corey, right off the bat, he's like, "Yeah, I mean, if a band gets on stage and they play their music, it's making it." I thought, okay, that's cool. Everybody definitely has their own gauge. And then I told Chris, I'm like, Al's either going to be yes, hell yes, we made it, or hell no, we didn't make it, because you wrote the songs and you had a lot invested in the band. So I was really curious to see what you were going to say.
oh yeah, in my mind, I never felt like we failed ever, you know, ever.
We
Even
failed to
even
be.
in right, right. Never felt that way because
Mhm.
I would take a second of it back, you know. I live my life, no regrets. So
Love it, man.